we answer some of your specific questions. We have the latest news that you need to know, sale reports, and so much more. Crew, let's ranch it up. Good day, everyone, and thanks for riding with us on this all-new episode of the Ranch It Up Radio Show. I'm Jeff Tigger Earhart.
And I'm Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck.
A big thank you goes out to our partners, the American Gelbvieh Association, the Tri-State Livestock News, the Farmer and Rancher Exchange, and the Fence Post, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Dakota Cowboy, Allied Genetic Resources, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, RFD TV, and Wrangler. We're moving into one of my favorite times of year, not because it's fall, not because I like the colors, not because it's when we wean calves and all that cool stuff goes on. I'm talking about Friday Night Lights, and I'm talking about high school football.
I knew that's what you were going to get excited about, and that's where you were heading towards.
High school football. It takes me back to when we were young, and all the farm kids. They're
the gridiron.
Exactly. They're you're busy, and there's harvest that's going on, but then you got to hurry up and you got to make the game, and then after the game on Saturday, maybe you're going to a rodeo, or maybe you're harvesting, or you're chopping corn, or something. It's my favorite time of year.
Well, you know what? I think there are quite a few people that are just like you that are thinking too. It's kind of the exciting times of seeing what's coming to fruition. All of your harvests are coming in. The calves are going to start getting weaned.
No, it's
football. There's football.
There's football. That's what I'm talking about. But, there has been a tremendous shortage. Okay, we're talking sports here a little bit, but there has been a tremendous shortage of refs. Again this year, they say even more so. I've been kind of watching in our area, and I'm seeing that some of the Friday night games, it's not Friday Night Lights anymore. It's more like Friday afternoon, where some of those games, they're being played earlier on, and I can only assume it's because to try to accommodate having officials to come and ref the games.
So you're saying we're doing an early tip of the hat to all of you that are volunteering to be referees or maybe even coaches to keep those games alive, keep those teams alive.
I could be a referee. I could scream and yell. I've been doing that. Anyhow, news. We've got a lot going on. Cow country news. The cow stuff. Our top news story, a federal judge last week ruled that a case of ranchers who indirectly sold beef cattle to major producers failed to establish antitrust standing in a lawsuit that claims the companies fixed beef prices, that according to the court filings. In November of 2022, we reported on this. The rancher class joined the sprawling antitrust lawsuit, but the corporations asked the judge to dismiss ranchers' claims in February. Minnesota District Judge John R. Thunheim ruled in favor of the large beef producers just last week. Now, the ranchers claimed the beef producers caused a collapse in fed cattle prices in 2015. We all remember that, leading to a similar decline in prices in cows and calves. The judge said the ranchers did not clearly explain how manipulating fed cattle prices affected cow-calf prices. Now, Thunheim also said the lag between selling calves and producers purchasing cattle weakens the ranchers' case. The court said the claim required that the ranchers were the target of anti-competitive activity, not suffering indirect or remote injury. I would imagine this one is going to be brought up again and again and again.
I would agree with you on that one. In other news, the U.S. beef cow-calf industry showcases a diverse landscape encompassing both small and large operations devoted to beef calf production, according to a recent report by the USDA's Economic Research Service. The study looks at various aspects of the industry, covering structural composition, financial metrics, utilization of advanced technologies, management practices, and different production systems. From 1997 to 2017, the industry saw a slight reduction in the number of cow-calf operations, coupled with a notable shift toward larger-scale operations. The study drew on data from the National Agricultural Statistics Service's Census of Agriculture and the Agricultural Resource Management Survey spanning 1996, 2008, and 2018. Key findings from the report indicate that specialization in cow-calf production observed a progressive increase from 1996 to 2018, although the use of advanced record-keeping systems experienced growth during the years 2008 to 2018. The adoption of advanced breeding breeding technologies, production systems, and specialized services remained relatively consistent. Geographical variations also emerged, with the Southeast and Southern Plains regions hosting more cow-calf operations, while larger-scale operations were predominantly located in the Northern Plains and West regions. Cow-calf stocker and cow-calf finisher operations exhibited distinct characteristics compared to those solely focusing on cow-calf production. The report also highlighted that operations with larger beef cow inventories displayed higher rates of adopting advanced technologies and management practices, along with lower total economic costs per cow. In terms of farm typology, commercial farms, characterized by substantial income and distinct ownership structures, displayed a greater inclination towards adopting advanced technologies compared to rural residences or intermediate farms. Now, in other news, last week's cattle on feed report showed that cattle and calves on feed for slaughter market in feedlots with a capacity of 1,000 or more head totaled 11 million animals as of August 1st, 2023, coming in 2% below levels on the same date a year ago and below expectations, according to analysis by Daily Livestock Report. The August survey came in just outside the lower range of pre-report estimates, the DLR said, following a July report that was at the very low end of estimates as well. Cattle placed on feed was down more than 10% year over year in several states, including California, Colorado, Iowa, Minnesota, Oklahoma, and South Dakota. Placements in feedlots during July came in 8% below 2022. Marketings of fed cattle during July came in at 5% below 2022. Analysts say continued shrink in the size of the beef herd promised continued high prices, especially heading into the fourth quarter. The DLR stated that in recent years, fourth quarter beef demand has been on a positive note for the industry. Beef as part of the holiday selection menu will likely remain a staple even as relative prices of whole turkey and ham are attractive. They expect the trend to continue and could provide some upward momentum for beef and cattle prices in the short term. And that's all I've got for the news.
Now, before we get to our sale reports, a shout-out goes to the Wilkes-Cleburne County Livestock Auction earlier in the week. I hate to report on this, but their sale barn caught on fire. Here's the good news, is all the cattle and the people are okay. In fact, right before their sale is when this fire erupted, but all cattle and all people are okay. There are some of the neighboring sale barns that are coming in and helping them out, try to move cattle. So if you do have any questions, you're in that area of Arkansas in Cleburne County, make sure that you go on Facebook, look for updates, give those people a call if you have any questions. So shout out to all those friends and neighbors for helping everybody out and getting cattle and people safe. Now, I know so many of you have been watching these markets and waiting for them with great anticipation, wondering what they're going to do. This is a report from Western Video Market. August 14th and 15th took place in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Now, for more information, you can go to wvmcattle.com, and you can see the whole list of the report here. I pulled out some various different weight classes, some big loads to kind of give you a real nice general snapshot of what those cattle sold for. 400 steers weighing 810 pounds, 247, 300 steers weighing 9 1/4 at 241. Here's a big group of open heifers weighing 800 pounds. In fact, 6 pot loads coming in at 239.75. Some spade heifers, 940 pounds, 4+ pots, 226.5. Now, 1,000 head of spade heifers at 925 at 236. On to some of the lighter calves, 270 weaned steers weighing 5 1/4 at 350. Did you hear that? 225 weaned steers coming in at 650 pounds at 291. 220 heifer calves, 540 pounds at 322. Here's another big draft of 6-weight steers, 520 pounds coming in at 275. Some bred cows and bred heifers, bred cows weighing in between that 1,250 and 1,300 pound range in there. Those bred cows bringing in between 1,850 up to 28.5. Bred heifers now from Western Video Market, weighing in between 1,000 up to 1,250, in between 2,375 and 2,675. Again, for more information and to go through that complete report, go to WVMcattle.com. Scroll through. There's many, many, many pages. There's a big report again. That's the recap from August 14th and 15th in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Next weekend, we're going to have lots more recaps coming up for you. Now, coming up next, here on the Ranch It Up Radio Show, your questions are being answered. The Ranch It Up Radio Show, it's all things ranching, cattle, cowboy, and markets, some history, lots of news and information, topics to help you put dollars back into your pocket. That's just a little bit of what you will hear each and every week, and we strive to bring you what you need. Now, if there is a subject that you want us to cover, a sale barn, say a producer you want us to talk to, get a hold of us anytime. Our email, ranchitupshow@gmail.com. Call or text us at 707-RANCH20. And remember, it's your program, not ours. LivestockMarket.com puts you in control when buying or selling commercial livestock, seed stock, or show stock. The easy-to-use online platform at LivestockMarket.com offers private treaty, online auction, and live auction internet bidding. Animals are sold before they ever leave your place. And with LivestockMarket.com, there's no middleman. Buyers connect directly with livestock and hay producers. There's no easier way to find buyers for cattle, sheep, goats, pigs, and hay. Sell on your terms today with LivestockMarket.com. Before you purchase your next set of bulls or females, remember this. The seed stock business is about genetic improvement and customer service. Allied Genetic Resources understands this as well as anyone. Marty Ropp with Allied.
That's our charge as seed stock producers is people look at us and you've got to make genetics that work better for us. We see that charge, we understand that charge, and we're going to use all the tools we can to get there.
Allied Genetic Resources, where the mission is commercial customer success, period.
Cattle Battle.
Welcome back to the Ranch It Up Radio Show, the most information packed into a 30-minute program that you can find anywhere. It's your all things ranching newscast, and so glad to be with you. Questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, rants, it doesn't matter. You can call or you can text us at 707-RANCH20. That's 707-726-2420. Our email, ranchitupshow@gmail.com. Prowling around social media at Ranch It Up Show. Questions of yours being answered today. Last week, we talked about getting your calves healthy for weaning time and keeping them healthy on through weaning time. And many of you asked questions about FARMATAN. And with Paul Mitchell and Imogene Ingredients, you had questions about availability, about cost, about return on investment. Now, Paul Mitchell with FARMATAN from Imogene Ingredients is back today answering some of those questions. Paul, let's answer a few of these questions from producers. Let's talk return on investment a little bit. And you knew, Paul, I'm going to pin you down with this because everything that we're doing, we want to be able to break even with it, bare minimum. But if we can have a considerable return on investment, all the better. So have we had any studies thus far, or do we know in terms of marketing, and I'm picking on calves that are fixing to be weaned here, has there been any premiums or added value of customers when they are marketing their weaned calves when they are on the FARMATAN program, where there's buyers that are starting to become familiar with the program, they're understanding this? Have we had some premiums that are being offered, not just in terms of maybe increased weaning weights, but actual, man, there's added value to be able to have that stamp per se beside those calves when they go across the scale?
We don't have a big formal answer for you on that, Tigger, other than producers now know that if they're buying a heifer that's been on FARMATAN from another producer, she's going to be clean for pathogens coming in with crypto, cocci, clostridia. So that's a huge kind of a quality stamp that she's been on FARMATAN and she's clean. The second thing I'd say to you with regards to return on investment, if we can take, with the price of beef right now, $2.50 a pound on a 550 pound animal, if we can take down 1% reduction in death loss, you've paid for the entire program. And we've got guys calling us with 5, 6, 7+% death loss. That's before you look at the cost of all the treatments, because if you lose 7 or 8%, and that's not typical. Guys are, a lot of folks are in the 3 or 4%. But if you can take that down 1%, you've paid for the entire program, and then you get into what's the increase in weaning weight because they've been on the program, they didn't get a setback, and we've seen consistently 50-pound plus improvement compared to the herds not on it. And secondly, very, very good breed back numbers. Dwayne Seabrass with those 15 herds, his results was 95% breed back and 85% first service conception, and that's with a bull with the herd, not AI. So he's very happy with how that's working. And if you can get that kind of breed back, if you can get that kind of higher weaning weight, you can reduce your labor and your medical expenses in the springtime by chasing sick calves. All of that begins to add up way above what you need to break even on the program.
And do we have the product readily available? I have to ask that because in this day and age, you know how it seems sometimes we got to wait to try to get everything from barbed wire to hydraulic hoses to you name it. So
Sure.
Is the product available? Because, I'm making a big push on this because I'm telling a lot of guys this just makes sense. You're foolish not to with the results that you can do and building into the future. So is it readily available that I can literally give you all a call and we can get some move in this direction?
It's readily available. We've got locations from the East Coast all the way across the West Coast, warehouses. The product is moving every single day of the week. We've got a very large supply that comes over every single couple of weeks. We're taking in shipments. And so there's ample supply. It's just a matter of and the sooner we know that a guy is going on it, the better it helps our planning. But as you've said, Tigger, it is neighbor getting neighbor. We are growing every year. Last year we did close to 200,000 cows from a standing start just 6 years ago. So as the business grows, we're very sensitive to the supply chain, and we've got really good supplier relationships in place to make sure we're in good shape.
Paul Mitchell with FARMATAN from Imogene Ingredients. Their phone number again is 515-745-1639. 515-745-1639. If you can't get a hold of them, call us at any time. We will get everybody in touch. We do that a lot. If you have questions, reach out to us. ranchitupshow@gmail.com. Call and text us at 707-726-2420. It's 707-RANCH-20, if you can remember that one a little easier. And here is the next takeaway. Get your herd on the program now. If you recall, we've talked in the past, it's best to have your cows on the FARMATAN program about 90 days prior to calving. I know that it's the middle of August and we're dealing with everything else, but get it on your radar now. Get it ordered, get it coming, and get ready because we don't want another year to slip by. And if you have any questions, be sure to fire those our direction. We'll help you out in any way that we possibly can. Now, stick around. We've got a lot more of the Ranch It Up radio show, including Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated. We're going to wrap the markets from last week, talk a little bit more. We've got a lot more and a whole bunch of the show coming up right after this. The Ranch It Up radio show. It's all things ranching, cattle, cowboy, and markets, some history, lots of news and information, topics to help you put dollars back into your pocket. That's just a little bit of what you will hear each and every week, and we strive to bring you what you need. Now, if there's a subject that you want us to cover, a sale barn, say a producer you want us to talk to, get a hold of us anytime. Our email, ranchitupshow@gmail.com. Call or text us at 707-RANCH-20, and remember, it's your program, not ours. It's called sustainability, and we all need it in the cow herd to remain profitable. Sustainability starts with the cow, and it's found in the maternal strength of Gelbvieh and Balancer females. It's hard to imagine, but weaning time will be here before you know it, and we're going to be faced with how are we going to replace those culled females, and what are we going to replace them with? Well, the answer is real simple. Create sustainability with Gelbvieh and Balancer females. Smart, reliable, profitable. Can I interest you in live calves this winter and spring? How about getting rid of scours? I've talked about FARMATAN from Imogene Ingredients before, and I'm bringing it up now because your cows need to have FARMATAN in their system 90 days pre-calving to help eliminate scours. FARMATAN is now on my team of experts, so if you need some more information or have questions, just get a hold of me. You can head online to FARMATANUSA.com. You can look up FARMATAN on Facebook and Imogene Ingredients, or call 515-745-1639. Welcome back, everyone, to the Ranch It Up Radio Show. It's that time when we check in with Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated. I know a lot of you tune in each and every week. You know the drill, but there are a lot of you that just found us. So you can receive Kirk's free newsletter by texting the word cattle, CATTLE, to 33777. Kirk, how are you? What's going on?
I'm very good, sir. As of Friday, August 18th, September feeders closed the week at $248.75. That's down $2.47.5 on the week, with the CME feeder index at 244.04, down 48 cents on the week. That leaves the basis, or the difference between the feeder index and August futures, at a negative $1.53.5. Very normalized relative to the August expiring here at the end of the month. October live cattle closed the week at 178.92.5. That's down $2.32.5 on the week, with cash trading a little bit weaker, 178 to 179 in the south and 186 to 188 in the north, leaving the 5-area weighted average down $3.27 at 185.14. The basis is positive $6.61.5 versus August live cattle futures. We did have a little better slaughter, with weekly slaughter coming in at 616,000 head. That's 13,000 head more than last week, but still 48,000 head lower than the same week last year. Choice boxes closed up $13.50 a hundredweight on the week at 316.11. So it's really nice to see those box prices moving higher. That was mostly on pre-Labor Day restocking, but it did improve the packer margins up off of the negative $100 level that we've seen them at. To wrap this all up, December corn closed the week at $4.92.5, up 5 1/4 on the week, and we have the Pro Farmer Crop Tour starting this week, so keep an eye on that.
Hey y'all, Mark Van Zee with LivestockMarket.com. Coming up this Wednesday, August 30th, we have a special hay and straw online auction. Bidding opens at just $10 a bale, no reserves, all lots will sell. Over 3,800 bales selling on 53 separate lots: alfalfa, baleage, grass, straw, corn stalk. Large squares, large rounds, and small squares. Featured lots include 486 bales of large square alfalfa, selling in 9 23-ton lots. They're 3x3x8, first cutting from Everson Acre Farms in Kimball, Nebraska. 34 bales of large square alfalfa, 3x4x8, third cutting, stored inside from Gary Junnick in Council Bluffs, Iowa. 60 bales of large round alfalfa, selling on 2 30-bale lots. They're 5x6 heavy bales from Al Hughes Auction Service in Glenwood, Iowa. 400 bales of small square alfalfa, selling on 2 200-bale lots, second cutting, pure alfalfa, high quality from JB Farms in Williamsburg, Iowa. 512 3-string small square alfalfa orchard mixes. It's high quality, first cutting, super clean from D9 Farms in Paragonia, Utah. 1,600 small square alfalfa bales, selling on 3 540-bale lots, first cutting, 70-pound bales from Everson Acre Farms in Kimball, Nebraska. 600 small square alfalfa mixes, selling on 3 200-bale lots from JB Farms in Iowa. 160 orchard baleage large round bales, selling on 4 40-bale lots. They're 4x4, first cutting, individually wrapped, 1,400-pound bales from Massey Creek Farms in Xena, Ohio. 30 bales of large round alfalfa, 5x6, super clean from Bramer Auctions in Amherst, Nebraska. 30 bales of large round wheat straw, 5x5, very clean, heavy bales from Al's Hughes Auction Service in Glenwood, Iowa. 30 bales of large round wheat straw, 5x6, nice, clean, tight bales, selling by the ton from Bramer Auction in Amherst, Nebraska. And 5 bales of large round grass. Net wrapped, has a little bit of alfalfa in it from Cobes Auctions in David City, Nebraska. Bidding opens at just $10 a bale and is currently live, but all hay will sell the morning of Wednesday, August 30th. View all these lots and dozens more on LivestockMarket.com and AuctionTime.com.
I tip my hat to you, from one legend to another.
Before we say fare thee well, we want to give a tip of the hat to all of those that have been fighting the extreme hot temperatures.
You know, the central part of the country, the Central Plains, has been hundreds plus from, really, kind of the South Dakota, Nebraska border all the way down to Mexico, the Midwest, the East, the South. There are so many people that have been affected, a lot of livestock being affected. So really thoughts and prayers go out to everybody because they're suffering from the heat. This is a nasty one is what we're trying to say. And now that's going to wrap it up for today. A big thanks from our crew to yours. Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated, Paul Mitchell, one more time with FARMATAN and Imogene Ingredients. Again, I know we go through a lot of information, so if you ever have questions, if you miss something, reach out to Beck and I at any time. You can text us 707-726-2420, and you can email us, ranchitupshow@gmail.com. So speaking of the boss lady, thank you to you, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck.
A big thank you to our partners, the American Galvay Association, the Tri-State Livestock News, the Farmer and Rancher Exchange, and the Fence Post, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Dakota Cowboy, Allied Genetic Resources, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, RFD TV, and Wrangler.
And crew, so glad y'all came with us one more time as we ranch it up. Be sure to follow and like us on Facebook at Ranch It Up Show. Our email, I mentioned it a number of times, going to give it to you again, ranchitupshow@gmail.com. You can text us, 707-726-2420. It's 707-RANCH20. Spread the good word and join us again next week where it's always Tigger approved.
Stay ranchy and ranch it up.